I got twisted. I brought me some Tanqueray. Shit.
Damn. Chilakia, we live. I gotta play some music, you know what I'm saying? Oh. Some music on. Oh, yeah. I got to listen to it. One question. You niggas don't make me sweat. One question. These niggas don't want no flex. One question. You niggas don't deal with the stress. One question. All I think y'all will get wet. One question. You niggas ain't messing with your flesh. One question. If one of them niggas ain't on their chest. One question. Y'all the fucking line get checked. One question. Why you wanna lose your breath? One question. You niggas don't make me sweat. One question. These niggas don't want no flex, one question. These niggas ain't built for the stress, one question. Fools out the y'all will get flexed, one question. These niggas ain't messing with your flex, one question. Little niggas ain't on their chest, one question. Motherfucker line get checked, one question. Hey, job we on play. Them niggas play. After his day, I'll get the I'll put you back, white and I hate, will be a back. Get up with the head and my soul. These niggas don't make it. These niggas don't want no flex, one question. These niggas are built for the stress, one question. All after y'all will get wet, one question. These niggas special with your flesh, one question. But when the niggas bang on their chest, one question. Motherfucking line get checked, one question. Why you wanna lose your breath? One question. You niggas don't make me sweat. One question. These niggas don't want no flex. One question. These niggas ain't built for the stress. One question. Fools after y'all will get wet. One question. You niggas ain't messing with the flesh. One question. But when the niggas ain't on their chest. One question.
Put that video on that brother there.
You don't have no knives, weapons, explosives, like that? One question. These niggas are built for the stress. One question. Test 1, 2, 2, 2.
We about to provide their whole operation. Certified priests, prophesying, this my occupation. This shit outrageous, they done made this truth outside. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. This I.S.U.P.K style, can't stop now. Father's warfare couldn't last one round. Let the oppressed rise, and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with this shit, about to make it hot, call it compound. This for my niggas, put the guns in the drums down. Dwelling in peace in the Lord, call for the blood. Hey, try to decide my death. Ain't got beside yourself. Sworn true for what you perform. How you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and his dreams. Ain't got no love for the blackers. No, just pulling tits. And in my father's house is spinning bitches. I got plenty of bitches. Run me your bitches. This your death sentence. I'm talking about slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. The day do not rise. Go in and feel the world with lies. And die for your spirit. You gon' die for your pride. That's why I'm talking to you. So war for your life. Your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let me hours. The only thing sweet. Honey check, righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow and hang down death for the devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause if violence leave a man a stiff corpse. You see a flag in the bench, I see hordes in a pitchfork. So please believe it. The white man is a demon, and I ain't gon' vote for them to free me. They finished the weak. They got the purple, the spotted knife, till they rough like ceiling. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. You Stevens let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you mean? So I'm here. Yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. And they do not rise. If you in the world with lies and die for your skin, you gon' die for your pride. That's right, talking to you. So warn for your life, try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let me get this deal. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on him. I can't really do shit because they got me picked. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking.
You gon' die for your pride. That's right, talking to you. So warn for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let me get this deal. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
You understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we don't care.
Don't get it. Unless I'm winning. So all my niggas, brothers and sisters, feeling none up full, cause another Lord is rich, yeah. Recognize people, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it. Unless I'm living, so all my niggas, brothers and sisters, feeling none up full, cause another Lord is rich, yeah. Recognize people, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. Who I be? I would never stop. Take these bitches out. Get one through your stomach, through your band, be a nigga. Unless nothing for soldiers and be a nigga. Let my eyes be closed. Keep the motherfucking boots of great nice bitches. If you ain't an Israelite, then I don't know. Pass some fire to the bone, baby, you can take a pic. When they see us at the mall, then we break it down. Do it for the throat, try blood of an Israelite. When them devils about to die, we gon' fight. Blessed by the most high, we gon' break the sky. When them white babies run, throw them off in the fire. Bury me a motherfucking bitch when I'm done. PK one rest, you know what the lie. From the other side, we don't know. I get the order and we don't take. Don't get it, unless I'm winning, yeah. It's all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling uncomfortable, cause another Lord is with you, yeah. Got one hand, recognize this, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it, unless I'm winning, yeah. It's all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling uncomfortable, cause another Lord is with you, yeah. Recognize this, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah.
gave his life for Yahweh Shah Mashiach Christ, and fall up under that U.P.K banner. He's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up, get back up, get back up, get back up, get back. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath, 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 take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath, take breath, take breath. Now this ain't no movement, this is take now. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour plays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told you, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of 9 bills. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take her, take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool yo. Who the grip, 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 who the grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Get grip, get grip, get grip, back up, get grip, get grip, get grip, back up, get grip, get grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip, 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 take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay limits. You should've used your common sense. My seal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, when the truth sit, hey, when warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she conceals, she modest. I know 2 things, a robber will not pass. And any man harm me and my uncle gon' meet the doc. Cause it's like what that means, fall of his age. Comparing me and you really ain't no contest. Long live one West, say what? Long live one West. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up, I'm about to drop something heavy for. Who the grip, 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 who the grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Get grip, get grip, get grip, back up, get grip, get grip, get grip, back up, get grip, get grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take grip, 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 take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down. Take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip, take grip. My soldiers take grip till I'm stand down, boy.
SHALAM. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I'm at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command GEN.YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true identity according to the Bible. You're saying that we are the Lord's chosen people and the only people that He gives a good goddamn about throughout the face of this earth. And of course, that our oppressor is nothing more than the devil that the Bible speaks of. You see, today's class is going to be about the Lashawan Qadash, or the Holy Tongue. So this is the language that our ancestors spoke before we were enslaved and ultimately lost our language, you know what I'm saying, due to all of the atrocities that our oppressor, brought against us. And so today we're going to be getting into the alphabet, which is something that is very important for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to know, especially if you are in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? You don't want to be in the kingdom of heaven and being the only nigga that don't speak Hebrew. You understand? The only one that has a lack of knowledge of what it was that we used to speak.
Right.
I'm saying, so I'm going to go ahead and have Trooper Kumapar come up here, get on this alphabet,
You know what I'm saying?
go over at that chart over there. I'm gonna be watching you, Lot.
You know what I'm saying? So we bust out with that I.
If you could,
Write out the alphabet first.
yeah, kind of go ahead and write it out in the English first,
Come.
and then do your characters.
Come.
It'll help you learn it faster. At least for me, it helped me learn it faster.
Come.
I know brothers like to focus on how it is that the characters look and everything, but for me, it was easier to, associate with how it is that you say it.
Come.
So before you continue, Kumapar,
Come.
you been studying, yo?
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna let you know that last one you put is wrong.
Come.
Go through it in your head if you got to, real quick, before you continue. So,
you right?
not at all. But go ahead. I'll tell you where you're wrong when you're done.
Yeah.
Just take time. We're in no rush.
Okay. The camera is blocked on the tar.
Oh, at the
Back. All right.
oh shit! I didn't make turn it. All right. Give me that.
I got the key and I locked.
All right. You cheating, yo?
Shit, man, I thought you was in the bathroom.
Nah, I'm watching you.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you got them slick eyes.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Try to get a peek any chance you get. You're gonna be studying this Hebrew. Come on.
Shit, go good. Oh, wow.
before you say you're done, I know you're counting them right now.
It's like 3-4 more.
Okay. I was gonna say, make sure you start from the beginning, say it in your head going through them, and then, let me know.
Oh, man. Listen to I and all that.
Hey, don't just fill in any random gap either.
Right.
So make sure you know.
I don't.
See, that's how you know you guys study this Hebrew right here.
Come.
You see, when you become an officer in the I.S.U.P.K, you gotta come up every week and read the Hebrew Sabbath service,
Right.
which is tomorrow.
Come.
It's our Lord's holy day.
Come. All right. Okay, figure it out.
You got all that you think you need?
Ka.
You said God?
Ka.
All right.
Like Khan. I know I missed something, you know what I'm saying, but you're going to show me what I missed.
You mixed up the. You gotta between those, first of all. Sorry, I was about to say, erase all that right there. Then it's the top. You had the yah before the top.
It's Ta and then Yah.
Yes, kind. And the ka with the K.
And then the Lama Sa. Lama Nasa.
Yep. And then what?
Qadash.
No. It was something. No.
I.
You had that. Yeah, there you go. And you're missing something between the za and the pa.
Where's the pot?
See, you just said it. You just said it.
What?
What is that?
What? Ah.
Oh, yeah, it looks like an O. Something that ain't in ancient Hebrew.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Now I want you to go ahead and put the ancient Hebrew above there and below there. So before you get started, you know, but for our viewers, this is what Hebrew looks like. Our oppressor, the so-called Jewish man, he likes to, make it seem like he's the one that knows ancient Hebrew and the Lord's language. You understand? When there is no, J, U, V, E, O, and am I missing one more?
You?
I said you.
Oh, you said you? That's about it?
That's about it. Yeah, come. There is none of that in the Lord's language. You understand? The Lord does not have those letters. You understand? This right here, this is ancient Hebrew. This is what the Lord's chosen people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, spoke before we were put through slavery and before our oppressors stole our identity. Go ahead.
Could have gone.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think of like a ladder, basically.
Yeah.
So when you're going through these, make sure you take your time, especially for our live viewers. You understand? You gotta take your time when it comes to this Hebrew right here. It's not something you can simply learn overnight or in a couple of hours. Put that, if you could, put that below the cup, because it was too close.
My problem is, I ain't been studying.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it.
This by last week, this by coming last week, you know what I'm saying? You know, last week, I'm like, I'm stuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is, you know what I'm saying? No matter how much you know it.
Right.
You can be coldest one in there, you know what I'm saying? You take a little breaks.
All right. So yeah, as the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved. You gotta constantly be at the scriptures and in these classes to know what it is that you are doing.
And if I could, I don't know if it's all the way, because I'm just paraphrasing, but it is a scripture where it says you got to study it every day so you won't forget my words and stuff like that. Every day. Like, I don't know what scripture it is, but I'm pretty sure it's scripture. I'm just paraphrasing. I know I've read it before where it's scripture that say you got to read it every day so you won't forget his laws and everything. You know, his commandments and everything. Read it every day so you won't forget. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me get back to this. Hey, Salakia,
What's up?
you want me to put the ancient on top?
No, put that below those, if you could. Put the shot.
Easy one. Easy peasy.
Take your time. Take a second to think about it.
We'll come back to that one. Ancient order.
Come back to the quad. All right, no sweat.
Right, thank you.
That's fine.
What's this? You know what I'm saying?
So you got some more.
I'm stuck. I gotta cheat.
So as of right now, you got Ha and the Yah mixed up.
I am tripping. Come.
You, are you gonna cheat? All right, go
I
ahead.
have to.
Go ahead. Hey, I say it's better than last week. Man, I saw you constantly cheating.
You know what I'm saying? I always get mixed up with that side.
Yeah.
And that's the side with us down.
So when I think of the saw,
Man.
I think of like I also for the saw when I think of it, I think of a ladder. When I think of it, that people can't draw the car. Like they can't draw that.
Right.
They go with that type of ladder.
Most high crimes. Yeah. You can learn a lot of things from love. Everybody, you know, our brothers got a lot of different ways, you know what I'm saying? Come on, you have to learn from a lot of them.
You see, brothers got their different ways of learning.
Man, I should have known that quad. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's something you especially learn when you first come to this truth.
Come.
Whether you learn from, someone simply telling it to you, whether you learn from a visual representation of it.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers got their own separate ways of learning things.
Come.
I'm going to review this for you. For the put let me see.
These lines going through it.
Yeah, kind of.
I always never got that shit, but now I look at it, yeah.
Because for the you gotta have more of lines going through it than in the middle of it. I like to think of it as basically you're like canceling out a greater than or less than sign. I'm saying, but this right here, this is the language that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians spoke before they were conquered by our oppressors. This is how you say it. These are the ancient Hebrew characters, which a lot of our people, we like to believe just because our oppressor, known as the so-called Jewish man, he uses the characters, we like to think that he knows the complete language and he knows this truth as a whole. You understand? When our oppressor, when he's added in his own different letters, his own different words and translation of words. But that's what happens when the devil that the Bible speaks of gets his hands on anything. You understand? But this right here, this is how you speak our ancient language, the language of our ancestors. There is no tongue clicking. You understand? We didn't used to speak any type of language that our oppressors spoke or any language throughout the face of this earth.
Right.
And so we spoke a language that the Most High himself speaks. You understand? That Christ spoke. And if you could, go ahead and erase the characters and put the Assyrian Hebrew up there. Which in the I.S.U.P.K, we get battled every goddamn day about us not speaking true Hebrew, speaking the language of our ancestors. And they would much rather follow the ways of the devil than to follow after some black men. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. That just goes to show you how destroyed we are in the land of America. That would believe the goddamn devil than believe a chosen, seed of the Lord.
Right. And notice I put 2 in the Syrians, between the word, and at the end of a word.
I want to say something from far, but I don't. For that mom, I feel like you're cheating a little bit, yo. Like,
I could be.
I know you could be.
Con, I mean, it's sometimes different. Oh, you told me last week, block me. Leave it open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's still.
Con. I just know it's not a complete circle.
Yeah. Yes, to what?
Come, we're trying to come.
So you say you ain't been studying, but
Now just come back to me.
I would say, I don't know, yo. Looks like you've been getting them books just a little bit.
Right, like it. I just came back to me. Like, no, I haven't. Like it. Saying.
See, when it comes out of Syrian, I can't believe you when you say it, Kumquar. You've definitely shown improvement from last week.
Come.
Take your time.
Oh, God.
Yes, my name is Alvin.
No, that's the
Top.
yeah, you already see it.
Damn, it's like I'm boss. I'm stuck.
You want to cheat? We want me to tell you.
I want to cheat. Like, you know what I'm saying? God dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm always getting stuck with that.
No, that's fine. You're saying this ain't a language that our people are accustomed to.
See, I told you it was some kind of G, man. I knew it. It just couldn't come to me. Damn, then the 7 is on the thing, yeah. Damn, I'm getting it. Though. And that Ka, I know I'm missing the Syrians. At the end of a word on the Ka.
Yeah.
What is it? Man, it's a 7. Someone told me it was too. Damn. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Notice that the Ka, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's always correct. What do you think about that Ka? Should I make it more longer?
No, that's wild.
So Ka and yeah, because you got five letters, or 5, letters in the Hebrew.
See,
At the end of a word.
the only thing I got to add
Come,
is, if I could, let me see the mark.
Come.
You're gonna have
Lip.
Come.
Come.
And you have a little something with the ah. Kanye, that's the wild. That's real Tawab. Say you ain't been practicing, but hey, it sure looks like it.
It's in me, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Saying the viewers might think with that little lip at the eye that, we be nitpicking, but when you look at, for instance, let's say the Chinese or Japanese language, and you got to have things perfect. And you don't say that they're nitpicking.
Right.
You know, saying when it comes to these characters, you got to have these, damn near perfect, or else you're not going to properly understand the language. You're not going to know how to write it out in order for someone to understand these things. Okay, so you got to know what little lips go on characters, such as, the pa, the la, the ah. I'm saying you got to know all the squiggly lines, how it is that, characters move and whatnot, or else you're not going to properly understand how it is to say these characters when you see them.
Right.
You got something to add,
I'm about to say, like, shit. You ain't gonna be able to read the Blue Letter Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got some things are similar. Like, especially with the Ra. You got the Na. You got what else? The Da.
God.
The Ka. You ain't gonna understand the Da.
God.
With the Ka. Or the Ka with the, what else? The Ha.
God. Yeah, you can get multiple characters mixed up.
Right.
Especially with the Da and the Ka when it comes at the end of a word. Like, so you see two characters for some of these. I'm saying the second character, it will always come at a end of a word. Sometimes it might not. Saying sometimes it'll be the first character that you've learned, which is why it's important for you to learn all of these different words. You understand how to say them, how it is to write them out. Otherwise, you're going to be completely confused. I already noticed the lip that you had on it.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They don't know, like, the lip, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look for the lip with the Da and the Ra. You know what I'm saying? The one on the Da is gonna have a lip. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
So you erase the the characters, Slakia. And Slakia. Question, if you could come up and do the ancient Hebrew characters and then the Assyrian Hebrew characters. So you got it. You got it.
I'm gonna write the words too.
Oh, you want to write the words too?
Yeah, so I can get it back in the number.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
For suicide.
Take your time. I'm gonna be watching to see if you're trying to cheat too off that chart to your right.
Yeah. Write it back. Wow. Oh shit.
That ain't Hebrew right there. So like it. Just take your time. It ain't a race.
No time. I think it is.
No, you got it so far. Uh-huh. There you go.
I can't believe it.
You said you ain't been studying, but shoot. I said that is perfect.
Still in the game?
Yeah. Now the difficult part of them characters. Yeah. Come on.
You got it.
Take your time. Ain't a race. You gotta come back to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got to, go ahead. Yeah, come on.
Was that good? Wait. Yeah, that's not right.
No, the last one is wrong. That's the only one. Other than that, they are perfect. That is perfect. Saying perfect right there. I'm saying that goes to show you how important it is to study these characters and to study the language that our ancestors spoke. You understand? Because if you don't do so, you are not going to know how it is, that we are able to, say the words that we speak. Go ahead, Triple come apart.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, he probably slipped up trying to fool us. He don't know it. He know it. Nah.
No, so brother,
I was watching you. I was studying.
Nah, you got it.
Studying, watching.
so brother definitely knows it. Okay, so when it comes time for Sabbath service, you gotta read it. You understand? Yeah, do the Syrian for me, bro, with the shot. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You let them good. That's when it really comes down to that you know it. It's on the Sabbath.
God.
You know what I'm saying? That's when
God. So you gotta read it in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Sabbath service, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you gotta have a service, you know, before the entire congregation, as you put it.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? So every officer has to come up, they gotta read Hebrew. They gotta read 7 verses, and you read it in the English.
If I could, y'all want to hear a funny story?
Go ahead.
This was like my second Passover, right? Y'all know Officer Maccabi?
Oh, of course.
Maccabi, he like real young. When he came in troop, he was like a teenager. So
Sure.
this time he was probably like 19 years old or 18, right? And so we was at the Passover, and they were doing a Sabbath service. They always go do the Sabbath service at the Passover, right? And they were calling the brothers up to go read, right? And we sit at the table with me, y'all stop. And Maccabi's like, hey, they ain't about to call me up there. I ain't worried or nothing. I'm just saying. We were scared, but he was scared they was going to call him up. Because it was a whole Passover. They was calling brothers up. They about to call me up.
Just lying. So that was me, my first Passover. I was on Shamar. I'm sitting there like, they ain't going to call me up to read this Hebrew, are they?
Yeah, he was scared to the mud. Like, I ain't worried of that. I ain't scared of that. I'm just saying.
God. God. So if I could, that's the type of things that you worry about in this truth is, you know, knowing your ancient language, knowing your culture in these scriptures. You don't worry about anything else. You know what I'm saying? Brother's biggest, next to the Most High, brother's biggest fear is knowing if he can properly speak Hebrew or not.
Right.
If I could, I'll tell you one thing. It is fun once you kind of can read it, and you can read it.
God.
That's when it gets fun and enjoyable to read.
God.
You get up there, you get all the words, and you start memorizing words, and you be like, oh, I know what word this is. La Ratazah. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of times the same words repeat in the scriptures.
God.
So that's when you get real fun there too.
You were close. You were close with that.
it's like something with a W, but it got like some curves or something in it. Like,
Kind of instead of more of a conventional W, like.
dang, yeah. This is the one I had.
Yes, that's too wild. Yeah, I thought it was too wild.
I know the pie is something like this or something, but I can't think of it or something more.
So you just repeated Tazah.
Yeah,
So like
something
it.
like that.
It's
It's what I got. That's all I got.
Erase the palm of the show.
Both of them.
Count.
I don't remember nothing else.
When you look at the paw, think of like the G. A G.
Oh, G.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Come on.
I can't.
Can't think of it.
I can't think of it. That's all I got.
It's like.
Oh, damn, God.
And that might help you with the like the character that goes at the end of a word.
God, yeah, it's basically something similar. Looks like this.
Look at what.
Sound like that?
No, that's the I for the ancient
I.
Hebrew. No, for the ancient Hebrew, that's what that is.
Is that the I right here?
No.
Lucky, that is the eye.
Oh, Slacky.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Slacky. I was tripping.
I know it's something like that, but I ain't gonna get confused myself.
Yeah.
Pie at the end of the word is like.
Think of like a J. I mean kind of J Slacky.
Like that or something. There's another something like that or something like that.
My bad. It's like it's more of like 7.
Oh, okay. Like this.
And then you got a little lip down there.
Like this, or is it just straight down?
It's like. You know, each character got their own different little lip that they have on them.
It's like the other one.
Go ahead.
You know, it goes down. Then, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it says go
Oh
down.
no! I said when you look at on the Blue Letter Bible,
Oh,
it's more like that.
I haven't seen it.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Yeah, it was like, our oppressor being the devil, the Bible speaks of. He likes to do things different ways.
Come.
So like,
Damn.
if brothers use the Mekon Mamre, whenever it comes,
What is that?
it's just a different, platform that it is that the Hebrew is on when it comes to Sabbath service. So like, it'll be Mekon Mamre or the Blue Letter Bible. Like the characters, they'll be slightly different, and it'll sometimes cause confusion amongst brothers as what it is they're reading and looking at. So like that's why it's important to remember how it is that it is written out.
Come.
You understand? And I mean, shoot, really, that's it. You understand? 'Cause you got to be able to, because like how you write it out, it's not gonna match up to how the characters are printed out per se. Things are like how it might be typed out on, for instance, like a computer or on your phone. It's not going to be the same as how you write it out on a piece of paper. People's handwriting comes into play and whatnot.
Come.
Then I see
Go ahead.
on there. I can see that the qua and the ra. That's why I couldn't figure out the qua because I had it in the wrong spot. This qua right here, and the ra like this.
Okay.
Just looking at it.
Yep. That's perfect. Slacky for the za. You were close. Think of like Slacky.
I see it though.
I was about to say how Isaiah put it, a remedial T. Salakia.
All right.
Put the cross at the top. Put that more of an angle, if you could. That's wow. That right there, that is perfect Assyrian Hebrew right there. You understand? That's what happens when you sit there and you study this Hebrew and the characters that go along with it. You'll know how to perfectly write it out and how to understand it. Especially for the young officers and the troopers in the school. I'm saying it's something, damn near detrimental for you to learn in this truth.
Right. Passing it on.
Yeah, count. You can go and get the trooper Kumapar.
Kumapar like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Hey.
Damn, Paul, which water is yours?
Lucky. Oh shit. It's one in the back. Gotta be this one. I always do it there.
Alright. Damn.
All right, Trooper Kumapar, if you could,
Come.
go ahead and erase that for the viewers. And then when you get done, we're going to go over the nations that the Lord has put upon the face of this earth. And us as a nation, we got to recognize that there are no more, nations than the Lord originally put. There's no less.
Come.
You understand? So I want you to put at the very top, and you got to make room for at least, 3 or 4 different nations. I want you at the very top, I want you to put Edom.
Come.
And put a little dash and put Adawam. Okay. Okay. And then go ahead and write out the ancient Hebrew and write out the Syrian Hebrew.
Come.
And once he gets done with this, we're going to go into who it is that the nation of Edom is. So a lot of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are confused about who the nation of Edom is.
Come.
That's the one.
And who Edom is?
I was about to go into it.
You got it?
Con, if you could get a Bible book shot. That'll probably be over there. If you could grab that big Bible at the end of the desk.
Hold it.
If you could give me Book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 25.
Come.
And for the nation of Edom in the Hebrew, you say Adawam.
Come.
I'm saying these right here. This is the characters in the ancient Hebrew, and then in the Syrian Hebrew. For those of you that don't understand why it is that we have, two separate characters when regarding Hebrew, it's because, we were oppressed so goddamn hard by the Assyrians that we had to change up, the characters, that pertains to certain words. So we changed the characters, we didn't change how to say the different words. So it's just like you say in the Assyrian, a, da, wa, ma, and then do the connectors, because if the connector is a arch rather than a loop, it stays how it originally was, but when it's a loop, you'll combine essentially, what characters it is that is looping to. So like the ya and the ma, instead of it being wama, it's wam, which usually it happens at the end of a word. Go ahead, Chukwukampa.
Come. Genesis 25, verse 25. And the first came out red.
First came out what?
Red.
The first came out red. I'm saying the scriptures were describing the skin tone of this baby.
Right.
That was coming out of this woman, which, if you don't know these scriptures, it is describing the birth of Jacob and Esau. I'm saying, go ahead.
All over like an hairy garment.
Go ahead.
And they called his name Esau.
Saying they called his name Esau. So this man that came out red and hairy all over like some goddamn bear or some dog, his family, they named him Esau.
Right.
And there's a reason that they gave an account of how it is that this, goddamn devil looked, because nobody's ever been seen like that throughout the face of this earth.
Right.
And the Asians, they always came out, with some type of melanin. The Japanese, the Arabs, the Africans, all of these people, they had some type of tint to their skin. But this specific child right here in this nation, they came out as being red according to the scriptures, because their blood shows through their skin. And if you could skip down to verse 30, I believe, it talks about the nation of Edom.
Genesis 25, verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
Same what?
Red pottage.
And with the same red pottage. And our oppressor, he's always out here, eating all types of raw meats that have, just blood in them, no matter, what disease it might cause or an illness it might spread amongst their people, which according to the scriptures, because the scriptures give a accurate depiction and representation as to how it is these other nations operate, how it is that they are as a people. So the scriptures let you know that Esau, he was red, lets you know that he was hairy all over, just like our oppressor is, and that he likes to eat his meat with blood in it. Sandwich. I couldn't tell you how many times that my mother's grandfather, has gone to some type of buffet and asked for goddamn rare steak. Some type of meat that still is damn near raw as a whole and has blood in it.
Right.
Go ahead.
For Isupk, therefore was his name called Edom.
Called what?
Edom.
Called what?
Edom.
Called Edom. So this same man that was red all over and ate raw meat, that was red, his name was called Edom as a nation, which is something that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to recognize in our own communities. So for those of us that think that we are, enlightened and have a higher understanding of things, thinking that we know who the nations are throughout the face of this earth, but yet we're calling the Arab man Edom due to our love that we have for our oppressor. The scriptures say otherwise. And we're going to get into these nations and we're going to explain how it is that, the so-called white man, our oppressor, is not the same as the Arab man.
Right.
If you could, go ahead and put that Bible down, but shot. And I want you to bring out Ishmael if you could.
Come.
So under it, just under it, book shot. So write out under it, write out Ishmael, and then put a little dash. And then put Yashamayala.
Is that right? Ishmael?
Ish.
If you could. I.S.
So it's ISHMAEL. The marker going out. Switch markers if you could, Bowick Shop. And let me get that marker. What? ISMAEL. Ishmael. And then Yashamayala. Someone's going out too? It's like it Mayala. You reach that A and I. Yeah.
And it's like this. When I do the test, this is how I remember it. Like knowing these.
God.
You know what I'm saying? It's better.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of like trying to memorize the test, it's better to remember these.
God.
Like the name, the real name. You know
God. They say that.
Isla.
They say that definitely help you out with learning the characters that come with words. Yashamayala.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do it myself, I couldn't figure it out.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now I know. That's my Isla.
God.
It almost sounds like what is it? Israel almost.
Yasharallah?
Yasharallah, you know what I'm saying? Yasharallah, you know what I'm saying? Yashar my eye.
I was about to go into that. So like,
you know what I'm saying?
Those of our people who don't know, you understand, a good bit of the nations, they were, you know, originally brothers to the nation of Israel.
Right.
You understand? So Ishmael, he came from the seed of Jacob, but yet the Lord divided them into their own nation, which is why they are not our people, which is something that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to recognize, which is that we are not the same as these other nations. Just because, you know, we have the same color of goddamn blood,
Right.
or, you know, at the end of the day, beneath, you know, our skin, that we are, you know, we're all the same skin tone. Like if a black man loses his skin, like his melanin on top, it'll be a light color, damn near the same as Esau. So that don't mean that we are the same people upon the face of the earth. The Lord divided the nations for a reason, and that is something we got to accept and we got to recognize. Go ahead, Trooper.
What they say? We all bleed red.
John,
you know what I'm saying?
they all say that we all bleed red.
Right.
So just because we all bleed red, that don't mean that the blood that is coming out is the same as another nation. Go ahead.
Even the dogs bleed red.
God.
You know what I'm saying? All the animals bleed red.
God.
Shit. It's like,
no, you swap. God.
No,
saying just because you bleed that red, that don't mean you a goddamn dog.
Right.
And you can consider our oppressor a dog. I'm saying, but you are the chosen people of the Lord.
Right.
So you could go ahead.
Come. Yeah. Sure.
Go back to the ancient Hebrew if you could. Wait, is that an Assyrian?
This is ancient. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on, Shalaki.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're missing the I.
Oh, so lucky.
Just erase the last two characters and then properly write it out if you could.
Right.
Count and do the Slacky, the Syrian Hebrew if you could. be sure to take your time with it. For the eye, the second
No, it
part,
looked like a knot. So like,
it's more of a swiggle on it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I can be confused with, not, yo. It's like more of a swiggle on this part of it. It's like,
I know what I'm saying.
let me get that. I got it.
No,
It counts.
go.
It's like,
I was saying, you know what I'm saying?
no, go ahead.
What?
Come. Say in the,
So I gotta get
when
it.
you read the blue letter Bible, that's how it is as it looks.
Most high cut, because the one on top looks different.
Yeah, Con, you gotta look at the bottom. Like, so for our chart that we got in the school, the top, that's how it would be printed out. And then at the bottom, that's how it would be written out.
Right.
So you could make that a little smaller because you got the ancient right there. You got it. Con, yeah,
It's not where I gotta take a phone call.
no, you're too up. If you could, lock that door. Lock that door when you go out of the shop. Lock the door. Con, that's too up. I'm saying, say if you could, put a little divider between the ancient and the Assyrian. Just a little divider, like a little line dividing the ancient and the Assyrian, so the viewers know what it is that's going on.
I like this red.
You whatever color you like, if you could.
I'm just black.
Kind of, so we all like it. I'm saying, but this is how you say Ishmael's name in the ancient Hebrew, which is Yashamayala. And this is how you say his name in the Assyrian Hebrew. I'm saying right here, Shalaki. Which is why it's so important for us to learn these different characters. Is that, for instance, in Sabbath service, a lot of us, we read the Assyrian Hebrew due to, the devil that the Bible speaks of having, control over what it is that we read. So they'd rather we read the Assyrian as compared to the ancient Hebrew, which in I.S.U.P.K, truly you gotta know both of these characters right here, the ancient, the Assyrian. You gotta know how to say them. And so you gotta constantly be studying in this truth right here. True Kumfar, if you could. Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 12. A lot of our because a lot of our people were confused about who it is that Ishmael really is, and who it is that the nation of Edom really is. We like to say that Ishmael, his blood shows through his skin like Esau, like the nation of our oppressor does. But the Bible gives you a characteristic of all of these nations.
Genesis chapter 20, verse 12. And yet, indeed, she is my sister.
It's like 16 and 12.
Genesis 16, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And he will be a wild man.
A what?
Wild man.
Go ahead.
His hand will be against every man.
Go ahead.
And every man hand against him.
Go ahead.
He shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. And
what chapter are you in?
Genesis 16, verse 12.
In 1 second.
Okay. I think it's probably 16, verse 2. Saria.
It's talking about his name will be Ishmael.
Okay.
It's like go above.
Oh, 16, no?
Now go. What's verse 11 say?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. It's like before you begin, I'm saying this is one of the sons of Jacob. I'm saying one of the separate nations that the Lord created throughout the face of this earth. Go ahead.
Genesis 16, verse 11. And the angels of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son.
Go ahead.
And shall call his name Ishmael.
His name what?
Ishmael.
I'm saying they would call his name Ishmael. So this is the introduction to the forefather of the Arabs. I'm saying go ahead.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man.
A what?
Wild man.
What?
Wild man.
I'm saying, and this man will be a wild man. I'm saying the descendants that he is created, they will be wild just as their forefather was. And just like you got the Arabs over there blowing themselves up for no goddamn reason, sitting there and doing all types of wild acts, which you can look up on social media, whether it's damn near, I want to say playing chicken with AK-47 bullets, or doing all types of things with vehicles and animals, whatever it is that you want to name it. These people, they are wild. They're like a goddamn animal. Go ahead.
His hand will be against every man.
Be what?
His hand will be against every man.
And his hand will be against every man. So if you look in the news today and you look at all these different nations, I'm saying you look at what it is that the so-called Arab man is doing throughout the face of this earth. I'm saying he's always out here causing terrorist attacks against all of our oppressors across the face of this earth, whether it's Britain, whether it's America. He's saying he's always causing some type of death or destruction in the land of Africa. You know what I'm saying? He's always, coming against what it is that the Chinese sit there and teach. You know what I'm saying? Spreading his philosophy and his beliefs. He is against all these other nations.
Right.
Go ahead.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brothers.
Is that the end of that?
Come.
If you could erase all of that and put Moab up there.
Come.
And next to Moab, put a dash. And then how you say in the Hebrew.
One.
Huh? What you said?
Alawan.
Nah, Mawa Abba.
Damn.
Very good.
That's one.
We need Mawa. We need an Ah. So Mawa. Mawa. So the Y. And then Ah. Okay. If you could go and write out the ancient Hebrew and then the Assyrian. Right there. She's down here cheating for?
Nah. Easy money.
Think so? Yeah, that's the why. So if you could, below that, I want you to go ahead and put Ammon. You remember how to spell it?
Ammon. Oh,
Ammon, Ammon. However you wanna say it.
Ammon Joy.
Right.
Luck.
So this is probably our last one. Then we gotta get into the prayers.
Ammon.
Yeah.
Out of one.
What is it?
I get one.
You're close.
Yeah.
You got the I right.
I'm a one.
Okay. I'm a one. Go ahead and put the ancient below that. But for our viewers, it's in Moab or Moab, that is, what you would call China today. Saying the Mongoloids are sat there and they, ate all these bats and all types of abominable creatures, spreading this virus upon the face of this earth. That's who we call the nation of Moab.
Oh,
Yeah, count.
Nah. Yeah, this is funky now, you know what I'm saying? Now I know it's longer and all.
Put a hook at the beginning of that.
What do you mean? This one?
Count the Y. And then think of like you ain't put a hook at the beginning of that, up here. Hook. And when you read it on the Blue Letter Bible, it'll have a hook at the beginning.
Like that?
Slap.
Hook.
Hook. At the beginning of it. And then for the nah,
it's like the end of a word.
Kind of, I like to think of like a Pharaoh's scepter. Hey, so you know what I mean?
So last time. You know that, no?
Like, whenever I think of a Pharaoh's scepter, and how they depict it in movies or cartoons, it's always like that. So he's always got that, literal hook to it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that right there, that is Ammon, which is what we call the so-called Japanese. And if you could, go to the book of Genesis, chapter 19, and verse 35. Go over there.
Chapter 19, verse 25.
35.
Okay.
Genesis 19, verse 35.
Take time.
And they made their father drink.
It's like if I could.
Okay.
And this is talking about, Lot and his daughters. This is talking about what happened between them after Sodom and Gomorrah fell. Go ahead.
And they made their father drink wine.
And they made their father drink wine. So Lot's daughters sat there and got him drunk. Go ahead.
That night also. And the younger arose and lay with him.
And so after they got their father drunk, sisters were sitting there, just laying down, chilling, and the younger one got up. You know what I'm saying? She went to her father. Go ahead.
And he perceived not when she laid down.
Saying, and this brother, he was so goddamn drunk, blackout drunk, like so many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been. I'm saying he didn't even recognize when it is that she started to essentially, rape this brother. Go ahead.
Nor when she arose.
I'm saying he didn't even know when it was that she was finished and she got up and went back to her room. Go ahead.
Thus were both the daughters of Lot.
Both what?
Both the daughters of Lot.
Saying both the daughters of Lot. You know what I'm saying? Sat there and had sex with their father, all because they wanted to have, sons. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to ensure that their father's, lineage continued. Go ahead.
Was child by their father.
Go ahead.
And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab.
Saying the firstborn of the daughters. So the oldest sister had a son, and they named him Moab, the so-called Chinese. You know what I'm saying? Moab in the Hebrew. You understand? This is a incest baby, which so many blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians view so highly and view as being intelligent. You say, especially when, I was in the world, I'd always see how blacks would try to, blow, boast, the so-called Chinese up, try to make it seem like they were so much smarter than their people, and how, things had to change and be adapted to the way that Chinese are.
Wow.
I'm saying this is nothing more than a mongoloid. It's a retard. When you look at how it is that Down syndrome, babies are, how is it they grow up? That's how you should view the so-called Chinese, as no more than someone that is slow in the head. Go ahead.
The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day.
Go ahead.
Verse 38. And the younger, she also bare a son.
It's like read the last part of that last verse, Shah.
Verse 37.
About the Moabites. Wow.
The same is the father of the Moabites.
I'm saying, so Moab is the father of the Moabites, of the so-called Chinese. Go ahead.
Unto this day.
Onto this day. And no matter what day and age it is that we're in as a nation, whether it is 2020, or saying if we make it past 2035 or whatever you want to believe in, the father of the so-called Chinese is Moab. You understand? A mongoloid, an incest baby that came from Lot's sperm when he when he put it inside of his own daughter. Go ahead.
Verse 38. And the younger, she also bare a son.
Saying so, this second daughter, I'm saying of Lot that he had laid with, that he had in sexual sex with, I'm saying she also bare a son. Go ahead.
And called his name Benjamin. Benjamin. Benjamin.
Go ahead.
The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
Okay, so this son that this other, woman had, the other daughter of Lot had, was that his youngest daughter? His youngest daughter, I'm saying, she gave birth to another, forefather of a separate nation. I'm saying that nation that they called Ammon, the so-called Japanese, which for some odd reason, our people, we always view them as being so highly and someone that should be, truly looked up to and that we should follow after, just like we do with our oppressor. When the scriptures let you know that they are no more than, that Down syndrome kid that you look down on in your own communities. And you're not gonna look up to, someone that has, Down syndrome and expect them to be a leader. We should view Moab and Ammon, the Chinese and the Japanese, the same exact way. I'm saying, is that the end of that scripture right there? All right, if you could go ahead and get into the security announcements. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand the class over to Trooper Kumapar. Don't worry about that.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry, to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 through 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew. Mashariah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Upcoming holy convocation. The Passover which been postponed until further notice.
I'm going to give you the address for it.
Come.
Let them know how long it's been postponed for, which is a month.
What you mean? It's been postponed for 1 month. So what is that, May 9th?
It's supposed to be April 9th.
Come.
But since it's been postponed.
Is an official day out?
It was just they just said it was postponed for a month. Which the official day they gave was April 9th, so I just say it's like postponed until May.
May 9th.
Just say
May.
Just say May.
Was postponed until May, until further notice. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school,
let them know it's at Westchester County Center.
Westchester County Center.
When the Passover is at
The
Westchester.
Passover is at Westchester County Center
At 198 Central Avenue.
at 198 Central Avenue,
White Plains, New York.
White Plains, New York.
Zip code is 106.
Zip code 10606.
06. Go ahead.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, scarf, and with that, a module, which means to rise, to stand, upon what?
Wapanya.
Wapanga,
Wapanya.
Wapanga,
Wapanya.
Wapanga, Aquadum,
Which means
which means turn and face the east.
12.
The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayya, Shimka, Yahaw, Malakuka, Taba'ah, Ma'azayaka, Hayya, I.S.U.P.K, Baratasa, Gawa, Hayya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakum, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawawafanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'awanawa, Banasaya 1, Abba, Hawashawanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Luka, Hamalaku, Wa'ala, Wahapar,
What the power?
La'awai, Lion,
What the
Aman,
There's no rush. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Praying in Hakat in Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Barakasha, Nathanawa, Hakat, Lavapah, Karmala, Madawa, Hakat, let the heart, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, La Hakwathium, Hamathium, Hakat, Arwa, Kawa, Shalaka. Tamala Olive.
Oh, sorry. Al-Rakawath.
Rakawath. Hatama Olive. The Gershon. Bahashim. Yahusha. The Wadaman.
The prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh.
sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Blessed in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushua? Why Maka'ala? Why Ala'ayim? Why Ala'ayim? Matasabayah. Alawat Yahana. Halawathium. Hazarayim. Haquatasayayim.
It's like
What Quayayim? What Haquathium? Yahweh. Bahashim. Yahusha. The one of mine. The blessings. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahusha. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The general. The captain. The officer. And the troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. In the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure. Of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. Force their riches. To enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nations. And the drug dealers. The court system. The prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Comitatus. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airways.
The cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people.
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us.
that seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift destruction
To all the heathen.
to all the heathen
That stand in the way.
that stand in the way
Or try to stop us.
or try to stop us
From broadcasting your word.
from broadcasting your words
Throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plague.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro
Through the earth.
through the earth
And consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague
Let the plague
shake the house
shake the house
of the thief
of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let your house shine.
Let your house shine.
Michael
Michael
and Gabriel
and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucer
come down with the flying saucer
and punish all the heathen
and punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it be known
by all
by all
that is the angels that have done it.
that is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it be known.
It's like, cause it to be spread
Cause it be spread
through the media,
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua.
And may our shine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always.
Always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means a turn. Oh, I guess you can.
Men of Israel,
I'll give you a courtesy salute to the teacher.
courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Man Shabbat, Amadu, Barat, Yahweh, Yazamatan. Courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Man Shabbat, Amadu, Barat, Yahweh, Yazamatan. Class dismissed.